doesn't matter. How do you know that you are depressed? When you feel unhappy, sometimes you can't sleep, or you don't even have appetite, or you're just eating too much. Every minute you're eating as if food is going to solve it. No. Sometimes you're weak. You can't even do anything. You're discouraged about life. The moment you take coffee or just a smell of it, that hormone that controls how you feel, happiness, is activated. And so you feel like life is worth living again. If you are going through chronic constipation, these are some of the areas that I have benefited and will always keep coffee by myself. But I don't take it frequently. That is where we get it wrong, because coffee is easily addictive. The moment you take it the first day, you enjoy it. The midday, you would like to take it every day. But that is where you need to put a stop and control it. If you take it in moderation, my dear, it's one of the foods, top anti-aging foods for older adults. It helps to tackle chronic constipation, which is also one of the challenges that the older adults goes through. If you cannot pass out your waste, if your colon is sluggish, then just make a cup of coffee, warm coffee, add date powder or just 2 dates inside, and then stir and take. My dear, you will come back and tell me your story. It's great for detox. That's exactly what I'm saying. Helping you to push your colon, to push the colon to get moving. And we older adults, you need it. You need starch foods. You need this coffee also. In case you are feeling totally weak and exhausted, you don't have energy to do anything. It's a brain food. Maybe you are an online person, or you're somebody that writes, or doesn't matter the kind of work you do. At times you're so tired you don't feel like doing anything. It happens to me. And what do? I just make a cup of coffee during all the joy, all the excitement, all the energy are back. And so, because of that reason, I also take coffee when I want to write. It's a brain food. It can make you work all day without feeling anything. Just ensure you take it early enough so that you can do all the work that you need to do without getting tired. It's one of the reasons the older adult needs it. Then another reason is you need to lose fat. It's a fat burning food. It's a fat burning food. So the older adult needs to avoid accumulation of fat, because once fat begins to accumulate, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, all the diseases begins to come around. And so coffee is one of the foods that will help to speed up your metabolic rate and avoid storing the food for too long, which eventually will result in weight gain. Then another reason is coffee is one of the foods that you should be taking if you want to support clearing of your arteries. Sometimes your arteries are clogged. I do feel it, I do see it. If you're watchful, you can see it. Check your legs often. When the arteries are clogged and you need to unclog it fast, you go for coffee, my dear. A cup of it won't do much harm. Don't let it be addictive. Make a cup of coffee. I usually like to add dates powder and then stir it and take. I do take it occasionally, few minutes after my breakfast, or if it's for constipation purposes, after my water therapy. And then there is also something that is so special that you need to also know, that when you take coffee, some people complain that it dries them out. Yes, it does. And it also dries out the cells of water. And so if you usually will take a cup of water without coffee, when you didn't take coffee, then you need to increase it to 2 cups in order to avoid dehydration of the cells. This is something you need to understand about coffee because of drying out. And another thing you need to also understand is it also tend to deal with our calcium reserve or calcium level. And so you need to also include more calcium, find calcium rich foods. Sometimes when I take it, I soak my chia seeds. A few hours later, I take it to boost my calcium so that I won't suffer in that aspect. Remember that coffee is also a blood thinner. When we talk about blood thinners, yes, you need to have your blood thinned out most of the time in order to avoid cases of stroke, cases, some other clogging of arteries, and several other challenges. You need to have it. And do you also know that it's a liver supporting food? Despite, apart, not be just because of its bitterness. And again, the bitterness is naturally occurring. There's something I want you to understand. If you are one of those that have developed hatred for coffee, you need to have a rethink because the caffeine in coffee is naturally occurring. Any nutrient that occurs naturally should not be avoided assiduously, because there is a reason why Mother Nature allowed it. Coffee bean. I was trying to really find out what coffee is all about. Is it a seed? Found out it's coffee beans. It's in the beans family. Roasted coffee bean is where they got the coffee from. The coffee that we are avoiding. It's all about information. So I thought to inform us, to educate us, and to give us this awareness that avoiding coffee is not to your benefit, especially the seniors. Occasionally, relax, enjoy yourself with a cup of coffee. Add dates. Date is a source of vitamin B group of vitamins to relax your nerves, to relax you more. If you think that the coffee could cause anxiety feeling, but it doesn't do all of that if you just take it on a particular date when there you have a need. You don't have to repeat it the next day. You don't have to repeat it at night. You don't have to keep taking it. But when you feel you're depressed, when you feel under the weather, when you feel you need a boost, go ahead and relax with a cup of coffee. It won't do any harm, my dear. I do. And that is why I thought to share with you that you don't need to avoid it. I did it several years. You won't tell me anything about coffee and I will listen. But I was helped through education and I gave it a try. If you haven't done that, after watching this video, why not give it a try and see how you feel? Just once. It's not a poison as many people are thinking. It's not so bad or so dangerous. Every food, even the healthy foods, they all have their ugly sides. And so coffee is not left out. It has its ugly sides, it has its own lovely sides too. And one of the lovely sides that outweighs all the others is the fact that it's a high antioxidant food. So if you are in a place where you are not having access to antioxidants and you are left with coffee, would you rather allow oxidative damage to damage your cells, or rather have occasional cup of your coffee once in a while? It won't do any harm. Ensure you know